Thank you, Elise. My name is Zach Nunn. I represent Iowa's 3rd District, and today I'd like to share briefly a story. A story of a man from Iowa with a brain injury who was targeted by Democratic operatives to get his name on the ballot. Despite this man not even being able to drive, they recruited him, they targeted him over the course of a year, impersonating members of Congress, deceiving him that he was in direct conversations with Donald Trump so that he would run in a Make America Great style party to try and get on the ballot. In my home state of Iowa, Democrats who are on the ballot have said that they cannot win unless they have a spoiler on the ballot. That was just out this week. Tragically, they lied to him because they knew they could deceive him. They push-pulled, paid for it. When he arrived in Des Moines, they picked him up in an electronic vehicle and then dropped him off at the Secretary of State's office. They handed him a pile of binders that had been paid and recruited for by a Democratic operative firm so that he could get his name on the ballot. They studiously avoided being on security cameras, and when he asked to have their picture taken together, they refused to take that photo. Democratic law firms notarized his information and handed it in to the Secretary of State. The only intent was to steal an election from Iowans. And as a combat veteran who, when I first ran, Democrats stole my military records, and we saw it happen time and time again with no punishment or even consequence by the Department of Justice, Democrats have stepped up their game to use truly shady tactics that not only are a direct threat to our democratic institutions in Iowa, but they are trying to manipulate and deceive Iowans. And this is where I draw the line. When you try to steal an election in my state, we fight back. We've exposed them, and I'm grateful for the AP's investigative story. These are not my words. This is their investigation into what a shady Democratic firm has done to try and steal an American election by putting false flag candidates on the ballot. Now, in our case, as a counterintelligence officer, we were successful. But this threat has not abated. And tragically, we have seen in states like Minnesota, Montana, and with my dear friend Jen Kiggans in Virginia, their attempts are real, they are paid for by independent expenditures, and they are operated in the shadows by firms directly tied to Democrats. So whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, this does not matter. Everyone should universally say these tactics are illegal, they are unacceptable, and they must be stopped. We must all work together to call out this type of deceit, because when I worked in Eastern Europe and saw Putin's playbook on how they distorted elections in real democracies, they were effective. That cannot happen here, no matter whose party it is. So with that, I'd like to introduce my great friend, Jen Kiggans from Virginia. Jennifer.